So good morning, another founder in car, and today we will discuss how you can keep firm in a demanding world. So demanding world could be that it's pushing you down, or it's very demanding, as the word says, that it takes a lot of stress and strain to just move forward. The important thing is that you understand why things are happening. So for example, that now everything is getting worse and worse. For me, I know this is prophetized in the Bible, and also I know that this will not last. So I know it will get better, because God, and I believe in God, believes the belief that God gives us, that this will not be will not last, but just will be a temporary thing, will help you through. And God also promises us, and I also believe that He will make it better, and in the end it even becomes a paradise. So if you have that, and even that period, which can be years and years of suffering, so to say, or strain, whatever you want to call it, still limited in scope, because you can see the wider picture. And that brings me also to the second point. Don't think that you're the only one that is dealing with these problems, because you're not. I'm driving now the Suzuki Sport Hybrid. If you try to fit which of the cars I'm driving currently, but because it is not only affecting you, it's a global or at least a regional thing. And oftentimes, many people on this beautiful blue globe are suffering similar fate, strains, have similar hurdles to take. And if you see it like that, you don't take everything personal, and you're not going to weep in a corner and say, okay, this is all happening to me. Why is it happening to me? Why? You already know, because as I mentioned. And the second thing is, if you see the bigger picture, you also don't take this personal. You see that everyone needs to navigate this troublesome time. And by doing so, instead of just going into the ego mode, me, and only me, and then securing you will go into a mode of how to survive and how to cope with this as humanity. And because almost the entirety of humanity is suffering, and of course some people are extremely rich and they suffer little to none, but even rich people, they might suffer. And why is that? You might think, okay, they have everything what they need, they don't have this economic strain, and you might be right, but they might have a different strains, that they in their family someone becomes ill, or they cannot cope with the richness that they have, and they have developed an expensive drug habit, or whatever. They can also have relationship troubles. They might not be able to mitigate between the important things in life, such as, for example, family, and they put work over family all the time. Or they worry enormously because they are afraid that the things that they have and other people are lacking or will be taken away from them. So also rich people, it's such a beautiful sunrise. Try to get a glimpse of that. So also very rich people are suffering. So by knowing that, you will see the problem, but the problem is not the world. The problem is not your world. It's a speck on your world, and it might be a very irritating speck, but it's not only hitting you. It's not that your entire world is darkness. And that's an important thing. If you see things in perspective, you will understand. If you are suffering very hard, but you know that someone in a different third world country is not even able to feed himself with one meal or one drink that day, you put things into perspective. And you know what you are experiencing is very troublesome, but you also know that you are not the only one. And there are many things that could happen to you that are perhaps not happening to you. And you can be grateful that you don't have those things happening to you at that moment. Another thing is that you need to cherish the things that are not going bad. So for example, now I'm driving to my work. I'm sitting in a nice car, in my opinion. It's just a junior hothead, but I like it and I really enjoy it and I enjoy the ride. And I do so. And by actively thinking that through, you will be fed again instead of only drained. Things taken away from you in your mental state, you will also put mental resistance, joy, good memories back into your mind. So those are 3 things I already mentioned. So to summarize, know why things are happening, and for me, believing that God, his name is Jehovah or Yahweh, will take care of this and will make everything better. So he knows the suffering and he will help us, and it will not last, it will become better. Second thing is perspective, bigger picture, that you're not the only one. Third thing would be take joy even from little things in life. It could be your family, it could be your pet that is abusing you, a nice sunset or sunrise as I just showed you, or a nice flower, or whatever, a nice ride, enjoying the things that do go well and really taking notion of them. The fourth thing is know where your roots are. And this can be the good childhood memories that you have that lay the foundation of the person that you are now. So if things are going wrong, you can visualize those things from your youth. You can drain the negativity and also get strength from your roots up. The same thing with your ancestors, your granddad, grandmother, if you have the pleasure of knowing them, your father, your mother, those persons that played a role, a big role. You remember what they did and think about their strength, and you feel that strength also then coming back into you. You are the product of them, also the product of your own being, of course, and you can also get strength from that. But an additional source of strength is thinking about your ancestors. I'm not saying that you should worship them, because that's wrong in my opinion. And why is it wrong? Because God tells us that it's wrong. So it's not about what you are thinking or what I am thinking, but what God, who created us, thinks and says to us. So we should not worship other things than Him, so only God. So those are 4 things that are very, very important. A 5th thing that is important is if you do something, do it right. So either you don't do it or you do it, but when you do it right. Don't stop when there is resistance, just finish it complete. Be a complete finisher. Bring home the bacon. Move. If you move with purpose. You move and you go there. You don't move to just be in emotion. You move to get from one point to the other point. You get things done. Not partially done. Done. Finished. Finito. Next. And that's good, because in that way you don't get overclouded in your head, and you know once you start something you will make a success out of it. If you can help it, it will become a success. Even if you can't help it, you will try to make it a success. And that's a good way, a good attitude. Another thing is, things that molded you will also make you more resilient, more anti-fragile. And why is that? even the good things I mentioned. Bring back the good memories as I mentioned. Also absorb them into your mind. Think about your past, your roots. Can be experience that you had, but also your ancestors, but also the bad things in life can bring resistance, can form your attitude towards things. And I'm not there to keep remembering you about the bad things, but what I try to convey is this: bad things that you conquered, you're a conqueror. You dealt with that bad situation and you succeeded. Odds were stacked against you, but you succeeded. And therefore, because you succeeded then, you have a big chance of succeeding the next time, and the next time, and the next time. And every time that you succeed, you will become better, stronger, harder. It's like a sword. When they make a sword, they also temper the steel. And the tempering of the steel is there to make the steel harder, more resistant. So what they do is they hammer the steel, they heat the steel, so extreme heat, extreme cold, in water to cool it again, and over and over and over again. But the resulting steel is far stronger than untreated steel. So the molecules of steel are hammered closer and closer, stronger and stronger. And also, if you know that, if you would go to battle like in the old days, and you have the choice of a sword that you don't know anything about, but it looks shiny, or your sword that you is proven and never failed you and has been with you for 3 or 4 extremely heavy battles. What would you choose? I know what I would. So even if that proven sword is a little bit more damaged, dinged, or what have you, or might not be as sharp, I would sharpen that one instead of the shiny one that I don't know anything about. So either you should test the shiny thing and make sure that it's at least as strong as your trusted one, or you go with your trusted one. And I would recommend the latter, because also knowing that the sword has brought you through all those battles, even though if it was as good as the other one or similarly good, that's a good thing to start with. You also have all those memories then, and that's also in life. So those things can really help you out of a tight spot. If you have family, if you have friends that you can rely upon, that's also a good thing. You have a security net, people who love you, you feel the love, but also they might help you to cope with a different situation that you need to cope with. And oftentimes that can really help to make it extremely difficult if they are not there. And I know, because I lost my father and mother. Or make it doable. And it might still not be easy, but it does not need to be easy. If life gives you a big hurdle, this is also an opportunity. It's not only a hurdle, it's an opportunity to prove again and again what you're made of. And even if you're not made of that, you can become that. And why? Because you have attitude. You have this go-getter attitude. And you have belief. You don't only drain from your own power source, you believe and stand firm in God. And God promise you, even if you don't, in periods that are extreme, and that are hard to come by or impossible to come by, He will make you come by. And why? One, He will give you the power to manage things, to overcome or endure things. Sometimes He can take away the hardship, or even if you die, and He promised you that if you're loyal to Him, He will resurrect you in a paradise. What is there to lose? There is things to lose now, but there are also a lot of things to gain in the future. And loyalty to Him will get you through. So those are some of the things that really might help you, and I share them with you. And do with it what you like. I'm not saying that it's the same for you. I'm telling you what works for me. And I am certain that a lot of these things that I mentioned will also work for you, if not all. Founder in car, out. So another founder in car. And today the topic is move with purpose. So I'm now sitting in traffic, and what you see oftentimes that they have these blinkers set, and they don't move. They don't move because they are insecure. But when you move with a purpose, you're secure. It's also what you exert to your external environment. So you look, also in traffic, is there a gap that I can fit into? Move the blinker. So flip the blinker and move. Move! And once you do that, you will get there. And also the environment understands he's not insecure, he's coming. I can do whatever I want, but he's coming. And that's a metaphor also for life. So if they know once you start moving, you will go and get to your direction, your environment will also react to that. They will see that you are secure, they see that you're dominant, they see that once you move, it's with a purpose. You move with a purpose and you move towards your goal. You're not there to move and just be emotion, you're there to reach the goal. And you will only stop moving once you reach that goal. And that's a good attitude, a very good attitude. It also will mold your environment. So instead of resisting you in everything that you want to move, they know once you start moving, you only stop moving once you get there. So their resistance is futile. So there, because the resistance is futile once you get moving, then as well not give you that resistance, but just support your movement. And people that who still want to resist you, you just cut them out of your life. If you're moving with purity, loyalty, integrity, that's it. If you're moving towards a bad thing and you have family and friends trying to stop you from doing a bad thing, that's different. Big difference. But if you're moving for a good thing, a noble thing, you're moving from nobility and strength, then they should not halt you. And why do people try to halt you? Because you show them a mirror. You're doing what they are not. And oftentimes they are afraid to move, whereas you show courage. And by showing courage, you show that you're different than them. And they would rather have you the same as them, or even worse than them. But this is not the right type of people. You want people surrounding you that stimulate you, support you, help you, facilitate you, instead of try to resist you, try to halt you, try to tie you down, try to make your life miserable. That's not what you want. You want good things. You want good things for others, you will also offer them the same. You will be a mentor for people because you move from a place of power. Everything that you do comes from this place of power. And this is not only physical power. I think it should be balanced. Like the Greek ones did. They have wisdom, some mental power, but also they were very athletic. And they said that those things should come together, go together. Not only wisdom in the mind, but also in the body. The strength of the body and strength of the mind are interchanging vessels. And also, remember this, if you're very good with your mind, and then you also take up a habit of walking, you will find out that you will become even better in your mind. So even time that you convey in doing something physical will make you better. Your body and what you do with it, for example, lifting weights or walking to nature, will give you a wider scope. It will also build resistance, not only mental resistance, but also physical resistance. Physical resistance will help you. Oftentimes the situation also for your mental state is not optimal. But if you're pressing your body to exert also physically, you know these hardships. And these hardships will build you physically, but also mentally. And oftentimes that mental resistance is even more important than the physical resistance. Because if you have physical resistance but no mental resistance, you will be easier pushover. Because you can always build upon your mental resistance, even if your body is failing you. I hope that jigsaw puzzle piece also fits in your mentality. So those are some lessons that I wanted to convey about the topic moving with purpose. Wishing you all the best. Founder out. Founder and today we will discuss the source of power. So for me, two main things as a source of power. One is my belief in God, because He is so much stronger than we are, and He will help us if we are loyal to Him. He might not take the problems away, but He will make us endure it. And even when we die, He promises us a resurrection. So that's one. The second one is your roots. This can be your familiar roots, but can also be places that have made you as a child, the experience that you had as a child, especially beneficial ones. But even the worst ones, because you know that you are standing here, even though that you experienced those things as a child. So you overcome problems. But especially the nice ones. And why are those nice ones so good? They will drain the cortisol levels. They will reduce the stress because you think about things that you like. You will feel protected as a child. Loved, nourished. Otherwise you would not have made it as the adult that you are today. But that's important as well. Your ancestors, they've proven that they were successful, otherwise you would not be here today. They were successful in reproducing themselves in a violent world, in a hard world. They were successful in what they did raising you, because you have the standards that you have today. Partially from yourself, but also partially what they engraved into you. And remember the feelings that they gave you of love, but also what they dealt with, the problems that they dealt with in their life successfully, how they managed. This is a source of power. The third source of power, but that's dependent on your situation, can be the current situation. Some people don't have a current situation that's strong or good or nice, but then they can be proud that even without that, they have those two sources of power that are enough for them. But a third source of power could be, as mentioned, it depends on your situation. If you have good family, good friends, if you can enjoy that, and you know that they love you, and by knowing that and they care for you, and you care for them and you love them, this will pull you through hardships. Because you don't only do this for yourself, no, you do it for the family, your friends, your circle. And that circle should not be too narrow. You can have people in your life that are like a father without being a father. They can be a mentor. They can be someone that teaches you lessons, that really loves you, that wants you to proceed, even though that you might not have shared blood in a genetic sense. But also, if you have a group of friends, you're not that reliant on just one. That being said, I'd rather have 2 or 3 or 5 good friends than 100 Facebook followers, because of course there are depths in friendship and you're not in need of that much. Even if you have one good friend, you might consider yourself very lucky. And also remember this: if you want good friends, be a good friend. So by being a good friend, you will also attract people that have similar visions in life, similar emotions in life that drive them, and then you will find friends that fit with you. If you have a relationship, a good relationship, for example, I have a wife which I dearly love and she loves me, this will also help a lot. I have children are a source of joy, but also a weakness, of course, because you want to take care of them and you need to take care of them, and that weakness is just there because if something goes wrong with one of your children, something will go very wrong with you. Oftentimes when one of my children is hurt, for example, they had an appendix that popped, my son had, you want to take away the pain. You rather suffer that pain yourself, or even far worse than he would suffer. Understand? So that's also a weakness. If something goes wrong, it will also go wrong with you. Same with your spouse, or your family or your friends, of course. But in general, love can conquer all. And you have a lot of love to give, and you get a lot of love, and that will help you get through. Because of the love that you have for other people, you will do the things that are needed, even though you might not want to do them for yourself, or you don't see any gains for yourself, but you see gains for them. And the other way around too, because they shower you with love. Love. You will feel a lot more upbeat, and then the same situation are there, but you feel carried on that love of others, that support of others. That will help a lot. Same could be said if you have pets. If you have pets that really love you, and oftentimes pets do, especially dogs, unconditionally. But even if you have like a rabbit, and just petting that rabbit, that will relieve stress. It will also give you a purpose. Hope this helps. Vouw naar elkaar.